I'm Jaki Valensi-Lauper with Jaki's Buzz, and I'm here with the very lovely, wonderful Ann Nyberg. Hi, Ann.
You made my morning.
What drew you to journalism, or were you always drawn to it?
I tell the story a lot, and as I look back on it, I think it's true. When I was 8 years old, somebody gave me a diary for my birthday.
Oh, I love that.
And I was always documenting everything, whether it was a Bluebirds meeting where I had a dental appointment in my 8-year-old handwriting.
You know, as a kid, I always wrote it
Yeah,
down.
I would just document everything. And then as I got older, I babysat and kept a whole journal of who I babysat for, their ages, what I was paid. So it was a constant.
You were very meticulous with it.
Yeah, it was a constant documenting. I used to read Nancy Drew books, which was the whole sleuth thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I always wanted to find out a little bit about a lot. So that
Girl after my own heart.
Yeah.
On the same
Yeah, so
way.
being a journalist, you know, you're constantly having to do research, and that's my love.
Mhm.
Loving to do, you know, finding out. I don't ever want to not know about
Yes,
things.
that's really fun. Now, what would you say is like, what was your most fun story, would you say, that so far that you had the most fun, like researching or maybe talking to somebody? Do you have one in mind? That
You know, I do. For people old enough to remember, I got to interview Walter Cronkite on the stage alone at Southern Connecticut State University. This is probably years back, and we just sat. It was just a conversation, just like you and I are doing, and they had a couch on the stage, and it was just he and I talking. And I, you know, of course, I'm reading, and
notes.
and it was like, pinch me. Here's Walter Cronkite and me. So we just had.
I would have
this,
been pinching too.
we had this wonderful conversation. It doesn't exist on tape anywhere.
Oh, wow.
I have a picture with him, but we talked about, you know, and he was a journalist, and you know, about his coverage of the war. And it was funny because when we sat down, he was so down to earth, and he said, you know, I have to sit a certain way because I can't hear out of one ear.
Oh, wow.
So we situated him, and I was, you know, I was kind of sort of shouting kind of to one side.
What do you think?
Yeah, but he was everything I thought he would be. You know how you meet some people and
yes, they're not. That's very disappointing.
They're not that. And it was just amazing. And my husband was there, and we just wanted to go have a beer with the guy after it was over. But
So he seems like such a sweetheart, like a teddy bear kind of guy, right?
and now he's passed, you know. But that was as a kid in a candy store, and now I can. And I also got to interview Peter Jennings a couple of times.
Oh, that's nice too. I
And
love Peter Jennings.
and he gave me something that that I'll never forget. And you know, he talked about the journalism and how he wrote, and you know, was a war correspondent. And his father was a famous anchor in Canada. He was Canadian. And he said, you go at a story, no matter what you do in life, it's a piece of pie. And you take one slice and you build on that, and you constantly build around until you have the whole, you know, the
I
whole
like that.
pie.
So the whole pie.
And that's true in breaking news. You get just one germ of something. Okay, we know there's an explosion. Let's just take that, an explosion. Okay, where's the explosion? How many people? And then you just start to build a story, and that's with no scripts, no teleprompter, and that's what jazzes me. So I got the opportunity to interview both these men, and you know, thank heavens.
How exciting.
Yeah, it was great.
The upside, would you say, to being a celebrity is that you get to reach out to so many people? And
Yes, you know, I've been in television news more than 30 years. And if you do the math, you get the number. But it has allowed me to use that as a platform. I have a Toy Closet Foundation at Yale New Haven Hospital, which was founded in 1993. I'm on the Board of Trustees for the Katharine Hepburn Theater, which opened in September of 2009. I lend my name to a lot of things that I think are important, and so that's been very important to me, and fun to see how that has helped different causes.
So tell us about your charity. How did you get it started? How did you? I love it. It's for children, toy charity. Right?
The Toy Closet Foundation at Yale New Haven Hospital, which we provide toys year-round, and we've given away hundreds of thousands of toys, and we've done outreach and built playgrounds, and there's sort of an indoor playground inside the hospital where children who are there for a long time can get out of their room and go and play with things. So I'm always constantly saying, you know, we need new toys and we need donations because children are sick all the time.
I was going to ask you, how can people help? What
They can just call the hospital auxiliary at Yale New Haven Hospital, and they'll put them in touch with who they need to.
Okay.
But this came from when I was a reporter in Oklahoma City, And I got an assignment to go do a story about about the toy closet there.
Oh, okay.
And the toy closet at this hospital was just a linen closet that they refashioned into a toy closet. And I went and I saw a 4-year-old little girl who had leukemia have a bone marrow aspiration, and they don't anesthetize for that. But while she was having this, they put a warm red ribbon in her hand that had a key on it. And because she'd had this before, she knew that after this was over, she could go to that toy closet.
Oh.
So as a reporter, I was watching this, doing the story on it, and she had this done and then went to this toy closet and then took a baby doll out of this closet, 4 years old, and she's, rocking the baby and transferring probably what her pain was to the baby. It'll be okay. Okay, tears are dripping down my face.
Oh my gosh, I would have been too.
Yeah, and I said, if I ever got into a situation or a position where I could make a difference and bring this somewhere, I was going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So fast forward, I end up in New Haven, Connecticut, and I was interviewing Don Imus back in the day,
Oh, yes.
and he, say what you will about him, but he has this soft heart for kids.
Oh, nice.
And so after the interview with him, we were sharing conversation, and I said, I have this idea for a toy closet, and he asked me about it. The next day, he FedExed a check for $5,000 to Channel 8, said, get this thing off the ground, because I had no seed money.
Nice.
So I did, and then he and I worked a little bit through email and letters about getting armoires. So there are armoires all over the hospital. There are at least 6, and now we're in Yale New Haven's facility in Guilford. There's a toy closet there, and there's one in the Smile
So
Cancer
it's really
Center.
grown, wow.
Oh yeah, it's gone gangbusters.
That's
And
awesome.
it only works because of so many volunteers that stock the closets, and the nurses know if they have a child coming in the ER, maybe they've lost both their parents in a car crash, whatever it is, they go there and they grab a toy and whatever they can do to comfort the kid and the child, and so that's what we're all about.
Wow, and you can go on Jackie's Buzz website, www.jackiesbuzz, and you will see the whole toy
Thank
toy
you so
closet.
much.
Yes, so we can all donate and help, and we're going to be doing that with my kids. My kids are very excited about going and donating, so we're
Well,
going to do that.
you just never know when you're going to need it.
Yes.
And everybody knows a child.
Yes, that's awesome. And can you tell us about the story that gave you your Emmy nomination? I was so curious about that.
Well, there were a couple of
or was it a few stories?
yeah, there were a
Yes.
few Emmy nominations, and it's never about that. It's
Was that thrill though? It must be thrilling, right?
It is. All that stuff is political,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
not to take away from people who win, because it's wonderful.
Right.
But one of the Emmy nominations that I got was for a series I did on women. And it was all about kind of what I'm doing now. It's, what is this gal doing? What is this gal doing? What is this gal doing?
And you were so good at that. She's so good at that.
And that was really fun. I did it for 2 or 3 years, and I worked with a photographer by the name of Trung Dang, who is now, who's a brilliant guy, young guy, who's now shooting in Boston. And he was a refugee from Vietnam. And he and I are still in contact. And now he's married and has a little one.
Aw.
But he and I would just go all over the state at all hours, doing these great
How
things.
fun.
And
Oh, wow.
so that was a real cool nomination, because somebody got what we were trying to
Right,
do.
right.
You know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you very much,
It has
Ann. It
been
was
my
so
pleasure.
lovely to talk to you.
And good luck to you, and
Thank
I love what you're
you.
doing. And
Thank
just
you.
keep it up.
And we love what she's doing. And please go on our website to check out the toy charity and donate.
And Jackie's Buzz.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.